Hello everybody. Let me turn this light on. This is Alyssa from Ink Arts and Crafts, and today we are here for a WIP and chat. So WIP stands for work in progress chat. Well, we're going to sit here, we're going to chat a little bit about my week, and since I didn't do a WIP and chat last week, we're going to chat a little bit about what I've done for the last 2 weeks since the Thanksgiving week. So for today's WIP and chat, I am working on this canvas right here. This is one of my oldest canvases that I have in my hoard, so I've been trying to kind of slowly and gradually work through all these old kits. So this one is this is the first Oraloa that I ever purchased. It's called La Fille et Renard. I don't speak French, so that's as close as you get. This is the image right here. It's really pretty. I love the coloring of it, but I have got to say the confetti on this is legit absolutely unreal. So the artist is Laure Phelipon, and it is a 55 centimeter by 80 centimeter square drill canvas. And it has 50 colors, so not outrageous in how many colors it has, but at the same time, it's legit confetti crazy. So this section right here that I finished, this little area right there, this is one area of color blocking there. All of that nice, pretty, I think it's 820, yeah, 820. That 820 right there is all nice and color blocked. But this section right here, I've already filled in at least 5 different shades of blue right there. And this that you see left, this checkerboarding hell, is literally the last color for this section. I just couldn't bring myself to finish it the other night when I was working on it, and I needed a break from it, so I did not diamond paint yesterday. I worked on some cross stitch because I just couldn't with this confetti section. It's been pure confetti. The other sections haven't been so bad because I've had the color blocking of the background, and then I've been able to kind of get into the others. There's a good section of color blocking kind of throughout those. This section right here, literally the only color blocking I had was this blue right there. And then this section is going to be all similar, not quite as bad as this one because there's less of I don't have the greens of the dress. I just have the blues of the inside of her dress and then her leg. And then this isn't checkerboarding, but it's not, pardon me. This isn't the checkerboarding that I'm going to have up here. But it's not pure color blocking. It'll go faster for the background right through there. But oh my goodness, you guys, this canvas, it's taken me out. It's so much checkerboarding and so much confetti on here, and it's taken me out. So what tools am I using? As you can see, I am using my good old Yellow Dog Designs tray. I've got the big one. Here is the little one. I am such a big lover of the Yellow Dog trays, and I'm super bummed that I can't get any more of the actual Yellow Dog ones. I do have one from Dixie's Diamond Den, but I found that there's some subtle differences in it that, and especially the thing that I tried using it, and there's some very, very good, very close similarities, but when you look at the inside of the tray, they use not the silk white that you're seeing here. They used a different type of white that just doesn't let the drills stand out as much, and I feel like they don't slide as well as with that nice silky white that I have right there. So, or they use more of, it's a different type of white. I can't remember where I put that tray. I think it's in, oh yeah, it's over there. So the tray is sitting over on my tray tower. So I'm still using these 2 trays because they are perfection for me. But anyways, other than that, I am using WeWax Crafts Cozy Cabin WeWax. I have some coconut eggnog putty in my multi-placers, and I'm almost out of this putty is almost empty. I've been trying to go through a putty at a time. And then my pens that I'm using, I just swapped my pens last night. So I have these 2 beauties right here, and these 2 stunningly beautiful pens are from Stacey Travis, Lady Lathe Custom Spy Design, the co-op. She's the founder of the co-op. But it's these 2 beauties. I love them. I got these at the day retreat that she hosted for the Florida Sporkle Squad down in the greater Orlando, Kissimmee area. But I love them. I thought they were super pretty. I love how that turned out there. And then this one right here, I'm a sucker for a mini pen, a shorty. I love those. And then the other one that I'm using is this stunning beauty right here from Butterfly Effectwares. As you can see, the pens that I use from Butterfly Effectwares, I always go with the mini pens because they're just so much more comfortable for me. So those are the 3 pens that I have out, and we're gonna I did set my timer. Okay, so we're gonna get into it and work on this canvas. And fair warning, Sushi is in chaos mode. The Roomba is running, so the girls are locked in the office with me. They're not locked in the office. I just have the door closed, so the Roomba doesn't come in here and make everything super loud and noisy. And also, you know, so they can't leave the office, and Sushi has been in a mood this morning. She has been in such a mood. You know, it's Saturday morning, and, you know, I figured I could sleep in and or just like lays in bed for a while, but at like 6 o'clock this morning, Sushi chose violence and was jumping on the paintings in my bedroom and dangling from them, which then necessitates me waking up and yelling at her to get her little carcass down as she dangles there with her claws in the like the rim or the edge of the frame, where the frame, so if we're looking at it from the side, it's like you have the frame has that little lip, and then the glass would go right there. So she'll put her claws in between the frame and where the glass would go and dangle from there. And if she moves just right, it falls off the wall because she'll wiggle it enough, and then it'll just go crashing down, and then glass goes everywhere and shatters all over the floor. And then I have to get the cat out of the way while making sure that she doesn't get into any of the glass. Then I have to clean up the glass and yada, yada, yada. As you can tell, this has happened before because the current frame that she has been dangling from has no glass in it because she has already broken the glass. Like, she's very destructive, a very destructive little cat. Oh, and it's like for no other reason. It's like, she's just like, I want your attention. Go, like, let me jump this. And then, you know, 10 minutes later, she'll be curled up, like laying snuggled with me underneath the blanket, like draped right against me, against my heart, purring away as this happy little baby. And I'm just like, what? Chaos. Come on. This is pure chaos. So anyways, she's been in a mood this morning, needless to say. Mochi's been, you know, being her typical good girl Mochi side. And she's currently sitting on the heating pad on her perch behind me while Sushi is over in the window contemplating smacking the blinds. And even though she has to stand up to play with the blinds on her hind legs, but, you know, she's contemplating the merits of smashing the blinds with her little paws and causing more chaos, because that's what she does. So anywho, I hope you guys have had a wonderful last couple weeks. Yeah, I was so busy over Thanksgiving weekend, and the time-wise just never worked out for me to film my whip and chat to be able to do that for you guys, because I was, well, first off, I was, you know, I was at my parents' house for Thanksgiving. I went over Wednesday after work. I think I left at like 2:30 or so that Wednesday afternoon, right before Thanksgiving, because there really wasn't a whole lot going on at work that day. So I did leave a little bit early. I had already packed the night before. So all I had to do Wednesday was grab the girls, and then I brought the stuff to make mac and cheese, crock pot mac and cheese. Oh yeah, that's what I did. Because I had a work potluck that Wednesday before Thanksgiving. We did a work Thanksgiving potluck for lunch. And since I still don't have a functioning kitchen sink, which that will be getting fixed over Christmas, yay. Since I don't have a functioning kitchen sink, I don't do anything that necessitates me actually having to wash dishes, especially if that dish is a pan of some type. So I haven't been cooking because, you know, I don't have a sink that I can use. I have to go wash dishes in the bathroom sink. But the little so basically, yeah, so we had the Thanksgiving, and I was like, let me find something that I can get, like one of those, the greatest invention ever are those crock pot bag liners. Oh my goodness. Oh, I forgot I still have the light on. I was like, why does this feel weird? It was like overly bright on my eyes. I still have the light on. Just distracted. So I discovered, like, the greatest invention ever are those little bag liners that you put inside your crock pot, so you don't have a messy crock pot that you have to then clean, because it's a pain in the butt to clean, to like thoroughly wash the crock pot, because you have to wait for it to fully cool. And then once it's fully cooled, it's so big, it takes up like an entire sink, and they're just such a pain to clean. Especially if something's been cooking in there for a while and has started to like get crispy around the edges. So I looked up some crock pot macaroni and cheese recipes. And I was like, because that sounds like something that I don't see on our sign up sheet for the potluck. Nobody had anything kind of like that. So I'm like, I'll bring a mac and cheese. So I did the mac and cheese in the crock pot, and oh my goodness, and it called for like 4 ounces of 4 different types of cheese. But you typically don't buy like 4 ounces of cheese when you buy the blocks. You just buy like an 8-ounce block of cheese, which worked out perfectly because I had leftover cheese, and basically the only thing I needed to be able to make another batch of mac and cheese, because like they demolished it at work. It was completely gone. Like I had no leftovers at all, which was perfect because, you know, then I didn't have to worry about taking anything home with me. But so the only thing I needed to be able to make a second batch was, I think, like the evaporated milk. And the store was out of evaporated milk when I went grocery shopping Tuesday night before Thanksgiving. So they were out of evaporated milk. So I ended up just using half and half instead. And it turned out really, really good. So my mom had my dad pick up a thing of half and half on his way home from work on Wednesday. So we had the half and half. So on Thursday, I had all the ingredients I needed, and that was the only thing we had to buy based off of what I already had, and made crock pot mac and cheese. Yeah, we had kind of a non-traditional Thanksgiving meal. My dad had gotten kitchen done for my mom, or like hooked up where we could use the stove or the oven. So we did crock pot mac and cheese. A friend of theirs had given them some creamed corn, some homemade creamed corn. So we had pulled that out of the freezer and put that in another crock pot. So that was cooking in the other crock pot. And then my mom made her lasagna, which is like the first time that she's been able to make her lasagna in it's like been at least 2.5, 3 years since she's been able to make her lasagna. So made her lasagna, which is so good. That's like, I hate leftovers, but I can legit eat her lasagna every day and not get sick of it. So she made her lasagna, and once it's all in the pan, then you have to bake it for like an hour or so to make it all nice and delicious and congeal everything. Doesn't take quite an hour to bake it, but you know what I mean. And then we had the random other sides and things, but the heart of it was, you know, the lasagna and then mac and cheese, creamed corn, and we had one of my mom's friends came over for Thanksgiving as well, and she brought some seafood dip, like clam dip, or not, like crab dip. And she's from New England herself, so it was a good recipe. I enjoyed it. It didn't taste like this stereotypical boring crab dip or anything like that. It was good. So we had that for our Thanksgiving, and then our dessert, which we were so full from lunch that our dessert at because we ate around 2:30ish. So dessert we ended up having at like 7:30 that night. It was when we were finally hungry enough to have dessert. But we had a peach cobbler and vanilla ice cream with the peach cobbler. And so that was our Thanksgiving. And I was so busy on like Thanksgiving Day with helping get everything ready, helping my mom like do the cooking, putting it all together, getting everything set up so we could eat. So we were working on all of that. And so that basically, I didn't get very much crafting done. I got very little crafting done Tuesday. Like I didn't do any diamond painting or cross stitching on Tuesday of that week because I was packing to go to their place for the weekend. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to bring some diamond paintings, and I usually get a lot done when I visit them. So I brought a bunch of stuff, but I brought like all little things because I didn't want to have to deal with like a big canvas of any type. So I brought a bunch of little stuff, and I proceeded to get very little done. I think I finished like one, mini set. I finished one mini set that I brought with. And then I because the mini set that I brought was like it was like the Pretty Little Gem one, so not a paint gem or a mini dazzles, it was the different one. And it had, I think, 9 things to do in it. And it turned out really good. I was really pleased with it. And I thought the quality from that kit, the little mini set was the sushi mini set. That quality was actually better, like hands down better than Paint Gem's quality. I didn't have nearly the amount of trash in the drills as I normally do from Paint Gem. And yeah, like the canvas was very much like almost identical and everything, but really it came down to not having that same degree of trash that I had with, that I typically have with like Paint Gems. So I was really pleased with that one. Did that one, and then I did like another like a Diamond Delights mini set. Both of those were in my or my month in review. If you want to go watch that from this past Monday. And then yeah, we were just super busy. We did go up to Tallahassee and did a run up to Tallahassee, which is like an hour 15 minutes from my parents' house. And we had to do like a Home Depot run, and then we went to Michael's as well and picked up some stuff. So my mom and I picked up some crafty stuff from them with their like Black Friday sales, because we went up on Saturday. But yeah, it was like with everything that we were doing, I really did not get a ton of crafting done, which it was like, I'm trying to think back and I'm like, what all did I do? And it doesn't feel like I did a ton of stuff while I was at their house, but it was enough that I did not get very much crafting done overall, which is completely fine. I'm not there to craft. I'm in diamond paint. I'm there to, you know, visit my parents and spend time with them, which we did. But it was so cold. Oh my goodness. And I know a lot of you guys, if you're up in the Midwest area, have been like, are in that below freezing snow on the ground stage. No, thank you. I am glad I don't have to deal with that. So I'm freezing, it's cold, was because it had dropped down into the 30s overnight over like Thanksgiving and then the day after. And then like the daytime temperature was like high 50s, low 60s. So it was cold for me because that's not, you know, I do not own a winter coat. Let's put it that way. So I was just like, this is freezing. I'm freezing. I did plan ahead and I brought an Udi with me, and I brought the girls' heating pad with them as well. And they were like, we need this, because it was just so cold. Yes, it was frigid. I was freezing. But anyways, that was basically the weekend. And then I came home on Sunday. I left after lunch on Sunday, and drove back. And then once I got back, you know, it's just a matter of settling in and getting myself all ready, kind of filming some videos for this week, doing my month in review, and then my like monthly haul, my video. So I was getting all of that stuff done. So that was like basically my Sunday last week. And with everything that happened and all the time I was spending with my parents, it just didn't work out timing wise to be able to do a whip and chat. I didn't have a chance to do a whip and chat last week. So that's why you guys did not get a whip and chat. Plus, you know, it was the holiday, and I was like, you know, it's so much more important to just spend the time with my parents rather than try to be like, okay, I need to go leave, like, you guys have to leave so I can film this, blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, I'm filming a whip and chat and then, you know, having to edit it and upload and all of that. And that just takes away from the time that I could be spending with them. Oh, yes. The one thing I did not mention, Black Friday. How'd you guys feel about Black Friday? So we got to see so many awesome releases with the 111 kits that they released this year for Black Friday, which is more than the 100 that they had released previously. Hopefully you guys found something that you wanted if you were planning on buying. And if not, good job for having like the self-control to not buy, because that's pretty impressive when there's so many awesome things. I was gonna try to, you know, be really like strict and be like, okay, I can only get kits from like XYZ or artists, which I only bought kits from like the artists that I absolutely love. But at the same time, I was like, yes, I have a ton of kits. Yes, I need to cut down. But at the same time, I was like, I have all of these points. So you know what? Let me just use my points for these kits. And I ended up using points. And so for Black Friday itself, I ended up purchasing, I think 10, was it not? No, it was, I think it was it 9 or 10? I have to double check. It was either 9 or 10 canvases that I purchased on Black Friday itself. And I was able to pay with points. So I really had very little like actual out-of-pocket costs. I think I got all of the canvases that I bought on Black Friday. I got those for the cost of one painting because of all of the points that I had, which was pretty awesome. So I was really happy with that because that was kind of my goal, was to use points for it. I did break down. Sorry, I keep feeling like I'm hearing something like a alarm, like the fire alarms from, or like the home fire, or like the fire department fire alarms that they have going in their building. But I'm like, there's no fire department near me. So I'm like, I don't know why I think I'm hearing this, unless, yeah, because it wasn't like the beep, beep, beep of a fire alarm. It was the bells, which I was like, that's weird, but I could also just be imagining it. But anyways, so I did on a Saturday afternoon, or actually I think it might have been, yeah, it was like Saturday afternoon as the things were restocking. I did actually end up making a second purchase, but I only bought 2 canvases, and only one of those canvases is for me. The other one is a gift. But I ended up purchasing one that I kept eyeballing, and I was like, you know what? I do want to make this purchase for this one as a gift canvas. So I was like, I was like, since I'm already doing that and I'm getting 30% off, I was like, I might as well snag that other one for me while I'm at it, which I'm glad I did because it ended up going out of stock shortly after. But yeah, so I ended up, all told, I want to say I ended up with, it was either 9 or 10 canvases. I can't remember which. Or no, it was either, yeah, because I can't remember if it was 10 and then 2, or if it was 9 and then 2. So for me, technically, I either have 10 or 11 canvases that I purchased for myself, which was better than what I did last year for Black Friday. I think I bought like 14 on Black Friday last year, the 10 Yumeis, and then 4 additional canvases. So that was an improvement. And then of course, you know, how you guys feel about this whole Cyber Monday drop. So I was really bummed that they were doing those mystery boxes for Cyber Monday, and I was not planning on purchasing them because I was like, if they release any more mystery boxes, I'm not going to buy it because, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then Diamond Art Club during the live on Diamonds Washi and Worlds and Fairy Lights, Katie and Lindsay, during their live on, you know, Thursday night and in like heading into Friday, had hinted like that they were going to be the artists that were going to be released for Cyber Monday. And we were all thinking, okay, these are going to be actual, you know, releases, but no, they ended up being mystery boxes. And 2 of the artists that they're releasing are like must-buy artists for me. And you don't know which box those artists are going to be in. So then I'm like, okay, well, that means that I can either attempt to hunt down the kits that I missed, because, you know, it was a Yume and a Lyubka were the 2 artists that I wanted. I was like, I can either attempt to hunt down those kits later and, you know, probably pay more, almost the cost of the box to do that. Or I get the box, hope that I get the kits that I want. But if I don't get the kits that I want, I at least have other kits that I could potentially use to trade for the kits that I wanted. So I'm really, really, really fingers crossed hoping I get that, because I did get the boxes, box 1 and box 2 as well. And I was like, oh. So we will see. Hopefully at the very least I get, I have a lot of friends that like some of the kits that have been releasing so far. So as long as I can get my Yumi and my Lyubka, I will, and like if I trade some of what I get for those, and then anything else I will, you know, sell for, you know, basically cost of what I spent to my friends, so that way, you know, they can get the kits that they want in an affordable manner and not have to pay, you know, a bunch for things that they missed out on because they didn't do the mystery box. So I was like, but yeah, I was like, really, really, mystery boxes? We're over these mystery boxes. It's one thing if they have like a themed mystery box, because then you kind of know like a rough idea of what you're gonna get in the kit or in the box. I feel like that's a little bit better. I also like how they did box 2 much better, which I think, you know, everybody liked how they did box 2 better, because guess what? Box 2 sold out. Box 1, as of like yesterday, like last night into this morning, box 1 was still in stock. So I have a feeling they're going to do what they did last time, where they break apart the box 1s and then like sell the like a single individual mystery item. Like you get a mystery canvas, you don't know which one it is, but your probability for this one is this one is that. for based on how much is left after they've packed the rest of the orders, because they did that with the last mystery box, which was kind of, which then gave people that potentially wanted like a single painting from it, could then buy a single painting and not have to buy the entire box. But I like the ones where you're getting just the new releases better than the ones where you're getting 2 new releases and then like a fan favorite, or 2 new releases and, you know, an overstock. Because to me, it's like, if there's kits that are already in stock on the website, I haven't bought them for a reason. I either already have it or I haven't bought it for a reason. Or it's like, because there's very few kits that are actually on my wish list. So the likelihood of getting one of those is very slim. So that's kind of like my thought on that. And I feel like we also kind of and voiced our opinion on that with our money this year, because, you know, not nearly as many people, they didn't sell out their box 1 like they did the box 2. And box 1 is the one where you got the 2 new kits and then 1 old kit. So we will see what comes. My boxes haven't even shipped yet. So it's going to be a matter of, you know, waiting for them to come through. I've seen, I think, 5 of the, I think I've seen either 4, maybe 5 of the new releases that have been posted for box 1 that have been posted in the VIP group. And so far, of the ones that I've seen, I do not need any of those. I could potentially trade them for, you know, what I want, or sell them to my friends who potentially want them. So we will see how it goes. I'm kind of intrigued to see, and I really, really want my Yume and my WIP, regardless, like in whatever box they end up in. That's why I was like, I had to buy 1 box. I had to buy a box of each, because I'm like, I don't know which box they're going to be in. In a perfect world, I get, you know, a Yume in 1 box and a WIP in the other box, and, you know, happy day, we're done. That would be a perfect world. I doubt that's going to happen. I don't have that kind of like good luck or anything like that. So we will see what happens. But anyways, I need to look, because they did say they were going to be doing something for today, for Saturday. So I'm kind of intrigued what they're going to do, because they weren't doing like a regular release. So I'm like, okay, they haven't advertised anything. So are they doing just some kind of like random drop with no warning or what? Because I know they're still playing catch up in the warehouse to get everything shipped out. Because I guess there was like 85,000 items or like orders or something like that. And they've made their way through like 11,000 as of a couple days ago. Look, we finished the section. Yay, success. That makes me happy, because this is a confetti checkerboarding misery. I should probably just continue with that color, but I feel like I want to do the white and give myself a break from pure checkerboarding. So, anywho, we're making progress on this. But that was kind of like this past week. And where I stood with all of that. Oh, yes. And my cover minder, in case you want to know what my cover minder is, it is this cute little cat from this little that's totally sushi knocking over the Christmas tree, which is why I do not have a tree, because, you know, I have a chaos gremlin. So let's go ahead and take this off, and then we will go into our last section. But that is from Shire Shenanigans. My cover minder is from Shire Shenanigans. I highly recommend purchasing from Nicole over at Shire Shenanigans. Her cover minders are spectacular. And they decorate my fridge. I leave them on my fridge because they're so cool. And anytime, like, as I finish with them, I go ahead and, or if I want to trade it out, I just go I take that one and put it back on the fridge, and I grab a different one from the fridge instead. So that's kind of what I do on that aspect, because I love them. They're so much fun. And what I need to do is pull out my markers, my acrylic markers, and actually paint some of these cover minders, because you can totally do that. Oh my goodness, I just can't with this confetti. I'm just looking at it and I'm like, this was pure confetti, like not computer. It was pure like computer render there. I feel like there was absolutely zero hand rendered done on this kit at all, which I'm like, I did another Oraloa from like the same purchase that was in rounds that I did earlier, I think like a year ago maybe, or over the summer. I think I did it around my birthday. I can't remember if I did it this year or if I did it last year. I don't remember. Time runs together. But that one actually turned out like really well. I was pleased with it. And it turned out like really, like it was a dream to work on, and I flew through it and everything. And I feel like it did not have this level of confetti. I want to say it did not have this level of confetti that I'm getting in this one here. So I'm just kind of like, ugh. So maybe this is one that was older stock that had been laying around for a while. in that one because I bought them at the same time. And so you'd think that they would be similar in that aspect, but apparently one of them was much better than the other as far as the amount of confetti that it had. And also that one was rounds. This one is squares, which we all know I tolerate confetti much better if it's in a round than I do if it's in a square. Still not, you know, like perfect by any means, but I definitely tolerate it better. So, anywho, that's kind of like the gist of it. Like, what does that mean? Yeah, but that was basically Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the confetti hell of this canvas that I'm working on, which is just not enjoyable with this much confetti. I have painting class after I finish my WIP and chat. I'll have to, you know, get prepped and ready for my painting class for Chinese brush painting, and we're finishing a like Christmas canvas, which has like 4 Christmas flowers on it. So we're finishing that today, doing the last portion of it. And then I need to plan out and figure out what I'm going to paint for the Christmas premieres, because I will be doing the diamond painting like Christmas premieres again this year. This will be my 3rd year in a row doing it. So I'm looking forward to that. And every year I do a Chinese brush painting video is what I end up doing for my video. So I need to actually kind of get an idea, get a feel for what I want to paint this year, because it's gonna be different than what I painted last year and the year before. So I may take and like kind of go off of like the subjects that I'm painting these last few classes, these last 3 classes that I've done so far, and then today will be class number 4 for 4 components of it. I may incorporate one of those items and paint that for my premiere. I'll decide a new composition and paint that. We'll see. I've got, you know, like a week and a half to decide that and actually record the video and get it up. So we will see if I'm in the mood to do it today or not. Because I feel like with that type of thing, I have to be in the mood to record and then also in the mood to, you know, paint as well. I can't just be like, all right, we're going to do this. I have to be in the mood for it. Because otherwise my attention span is lacking tremendously for it. But yeah. But that's on my must-do list over this next few days, is get that done. So that way my premiere is filmed and I'm good to go. And then if you haven't already noticed, I am doing my, this is again the 3rd year in a row that I'll have done it, but I'm doing my yearly like video for every day of December, or at least until Christmas, for my Advent videos. So I have... I will be doing those every day, like I said, and yeah, I'm kind of like, today I filmed them the night before, so like today's video that went up this morning already, I filmed that one last night, so I kind of do them that day before, but then, because otherwise you'd be getting the video like at the end of the day, and I'd rather give it to you like first thing in the morning, because that's just how my brain works, rather than trying to pop it out when everyone's trying to like go to bed. Because I tend to do most of my filming at like 10 p.m. or so. So by the time I would be done filming and then edited and uploaded and all of that, it would be like, you know, basically you'd be looking at getting a video at like midnight. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. That'd be great for everybody overseas. They'd get it like first thing in the morning, but not good for, you know, the majority of my viewers who happen to be in the States. But anywho... So working on that. I'm trying to think of what else I've been up to. Work was work. Oh my goodness. I felt like Monday in particular, but all of this week was like putting out one fire after another all week long. It was just like, I felt like the week was just, I was so ready for the weekend. It was, and you know, I feel like it's always kind of like that, where you have a lot going on that first half of the week after you've had a long weekend off. And this was most definitely one of those weeks where it was just like all the things, one thing after another, constant. It was just like, oh, I was so glad when the weekend got here, because I was like, I am ready for this weekend. I am ready for a break and to not have to deal with all of the work stuff for a couple days. Super, super happy about that. Because yeah, it was a lot. This was a week. It was a week. And now I can kind of like breathe a little bit for a couple days before I go back to work and restart the cycle all over. I like literally on Thursday afternoon, I had to go in. One of the things that I had to do is, because we don't have a clinic manager, so me as the department head also acts as the clinic manager. But I literally had to go through in all of our templates for our template is basically what your appointments are. So a blank, my template basically says I'll see a initial evaluation at this time, follow the next patient is a follow-up. So it'll be like, okay, a spec is an initial evaluation, and an FTR is, or a future is a follow-up. So it'll be like my specs are 45 minutes and my FTRs are 30 minutes. So it's basically the template is what my schedule looks like that goes into the computer that the front desk can then book into those slots. So it'd be like spec, FTR, spec, FTR, FTR, spec, and it kind of like alternates a little bit, because if you do a ton of initial evaluations back to back, you get really burnt out because it's like a different brain capacity than when you do your follow-ups. Because your follow-up, you already know the patient, you've already kind of got an idea of what's going on with them. And there is some problem solving and troubleshooting to do when you have some of the follow-ups. But also the majority of your follow-ups tend to be a little bit more straightforward than your initial eval, where you're trying to figure out what's going on with the patient. So our templates are supposed to be set for, you know, like a rolling opening, where you have, where they do a rolling open every 180 days out. So like right now, my schedule is open for 6 months out. And tomorrow, like if it was January 1st, it would be open through like June 1st. And then on January 2nd, it would be open to June 2nd, and so on. So it's always open 6 months in advance. So that's what our templates are set at. And that's what it's supposed to be. Well, all of my physical therapists, our templates were all set for that. But then when I went to check my physical therapy assistants, which I have more PTAs than I do PTs, because that's how the military does things, I was looking and I was just like, I think there was one of them had the template set like that. And that was somebody that I had to put in their template for them, or I had to put in their template recently because they were a new, relatively new hire. So their template was good to go, but everybody else's, their templates all stopped on, you know, like December 31st was their last day. And I was like, okay, I'll go in and I'll modify the templates that already exist. Well, I went in to modify the template and it would not let me modify the end date. So all of those templates were set to expire December 31st of 2025. And I'm like, no, I need them to, and I couldn't just change them to like change the expiration date. It wouldn't let me just do that and be like, okay, just have them where they never expire and they do the rolling 180 days. It wouldn't let me do that. So what I ended up having to do is I had to go, instead of being able to just go person by person and adjust the end date and how long the schedule is open for, which is, you know, something that's relatively simple, still time consuming and tedious because I've got a lot of people, but not horrendous. Instead of doing that, I had to actually go through and put in a new template for every single one of my physical therapy assistants. I had to put in the template all over again to start January 1st, which some of them work 10-hour days, some of them work 9-hour days, some of them work 8.5-hour days, some of them work 8-hour days, some of them have a day of the week where they work 6 hours because they worked more on other days. So they don't have identical schedules. So I can't just use one template and put it in for everybody. No, I have to do like a separate template for each of my staff members, which is super annoying. And the system is not like, it's super annoying to do that. And as I put in those templates, once the template is in, I then have to go through and I have to remove the appointments on the days where they have that are holidays, because it doesn't auto do them, and we can't just throw like a block over it, which means you can't schedule into those appointments. You have to remove the slots underneath before you can put a block in. So I'm like, it's kind of pointless to put a block in, because at the end of the day, it's like you still have to go in and remove the appointments under that block. So why put in a block? Just don't have any appointments on that day. So I literally had to go through, it took me 2 hours to input everybody's templates. And then I had to go through and delete all of the appointments slots on the days that are holidays. So I got through that for the PTAs for the next 6 months. What I did not get done, I have to go in and I have to block the schedules for inpatient coverage to do like our total joints and inpatient side of the house. So I have to go in and block the respective, thankfully it's only like one physical therapy assistant per month that I have to do that for, but I have to go in and I have to block that still starting in January for the next 6 months. Same thing, I have to do that on the physical therapist side. I have to block their schedules for inpatient coverage as well, because I didn't get that, I hadn't gotten done. Their templates were good to go, but I do have to do that. And then I also have to make sure I've blocked everything for staff meetings. And then I also have to make sure that I block everything for inpatient coverage, like I said, staff meetings, holidays, for everybody basically. And I'm like, I got like 2 hours into the process and I'm like, I still have so much left to do, but I cannot stare at this computer and do another minute of this. So I had to just like walk away. I had to walk away. I'm like, I cannot, I have to walk away. So I did. I needed that mental break from it because it was just getting so much. It was so much. And I was like, I need to walk away, which I did. And yeah, that was Thursday. And then Friday ended up, that was like the first Friday that I've actually left early, but Friday I left a little bit early. I left after lunch so I could do my, my class, my painting class. So I was like, I had put out enough of the fires that I could actually do that and run away. Because Fridays are actually our slower day because the majority of my staff work like 9-hour days or 10-hour days. So it's like, I think I've only got like 3 people that actually work a full day on Friday. Everybody else either has Friday off or works a half day on Friday for all of my civilians. So I was like, I've been doing, like, I was like, I'm just, yeah. So I ended up calling it and leaving a little bit early on Friday because I needed that mental break for it. But look at this. Look at this. Even this, it's like, this was fine, but now I'm into like the checkerboarding for this color that I'm using. And this is a 3865. This canvas, you guys, it is so tedious, so tedious. I really should just turn it the other way since I'm in this lower portion, but I'm such a creature of habit and I always work this way. So I guess I'm going to continue to work this way because that's just what I do. But anyways, so that's been like the work chaos for this week. And I'm glad it's the weekend because I definitely needed the weekend for sure. So now that we have the weekend, I'm just going to relax and craft. I got caught up on my Toad Ghoul Terrarium stitch along. I got caught up on that one yesterday. So I did the entire, I think I ended up doing like, it was basically like 1,000 stitches that I stitched yesterday on it. So if you're a stitcher, you know that that's a fair amount. But I stitched the entire section that I needed for that particular week. I did that yesterday. I started it after my painting class and then I kept going. I stayed up till like 1 o'clock this morning. That's when I went to bed. But yeah, I stitched the entire week in that one sitting. Basically, I got up and like went and had dinner and things like that. But basically, I stitched it all last night in one day. But I'm now fully caught up on that one. Now I need to work on my Flossy Fox Shop cross stitch conversion and get that done before the end of the weekend for part 4, because part 5 will be coming out, I think, on Wednesday next week will be when part 5 comes out. So I want to finish part 4 before part 5 comes out. I already finished the stitching version of it, the actual cross stitch version. I got that done over, that's one thing that I did actually finish over Thanksgiving. So I got that one done, but now I have to do the cross stitch conversion version of it because I didn't get that done. So I have that one to do, and then, you know, just I feel like I kind of want to like push on this canvas, but I feel like I need to switch to a different WIP to give myself a little bit of a breather. So I may go pull out my mom's painting, my Treasure Quest custom, and do like pull it out as in like take it off of the back of the door and put it on my desk, because I hang my WIPs in my pending pile. I hang those on the back of my door here in the studio. So that way, if I want them, I just grab it and go. So I think after I finish today's whip and chat, I think that's what I'm going to do, the cross stitch conversion, that section for the cross stitch conversion. And then I'll have my painting class. And then once I finish that cross stitch conversion one, I think I'm going to pull out and do another section on my mom's painting on that custom. And then once I do that, I may actually pull out, I need to pull out Naughty Space Voids. I think I'm actually going to start Naughty Space Void after that because I'm itching to start Naughty Space Void. That's like, my custom is a round. This one is the square. The cross stitch conversion is a square. And my Naughty Space Void is a square. So that's going to be a lot of squares that I will be working on at one time. I don't normally work on that many squares at once, which if you've been around for a while, you guys know I love my rounds. But I'm really itching to get started and do some of the bling for my Naughty Space Void. So I'm anticipating that. So I think that's what I will end up doing. I want to get a section, finish, this video, do my conversion, get caught up on that. And then I think I'll do a section on the custom and then work on Naughty Space Void. So yay, that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I can't wait to see what all the bling looks like as I work on it. I think it's going to look spectacular. I'm really intrigued to see. And it'll be cool because you'll be able to see my progress in my bling work, but then you'll also be able to see less bling, but some of it will be very similar because I planned the bling and then I passed along to C over at Sea of Diamonds. And so we're going to be working on it together. So she's doing less of the bling than I am. So it'll be cool to kind of see how it looks with all of mine blinged out and then with hers having portions of it blinged out. I think that's going to be really interesting to see. So I'm excited for that for sure. So funny. The cats have decided that they are sleepy time. They're ready for, that late morning nap because, they've been chaosing all morning. So now they're just going to chill and they're both curled up. Mochi in her, on the heating pad, and then Sushi in her little hammock area underneath the heating pad area. So they are happy little cats right now. So that's good. They've been helping me film my, Advent videos. They've been helping with the filming of that pretty much every time. So I think today's video is the first one that the girls did not make an appearance in because they were off doing their own thing. But every other one that I've done, they've been right there in the middle of it. What you doing? We're going to help you. So it's been really cute having them help me out. So yeah, the girls are napping away. Thankfully, because, the chaos was just chaosing so much this morning. So I'm glad that she's exhausted herself and now she can rest, at least, and rejuvenate herself so she can chaos again later today. Because that's really what she's doing. She's resting to chaos again at another point in time. Brat cat. But anyways, let's see what else. Ooh, yeah. So now that Black Friday is over and Cyber Monday and all of that, and we will see as canvases start coming in, we will see what kind of damage it looks like as far as how many additional kits and everything I've got. I did get my first set of Black Friday purchases did come in, which is I did Oraloa was having a sale. It was a buy one get one whatever percentage off or something like that. So I did get 2 things from Oraloa, and those just arrived yesterday. So actually the day before yesterday, but in December. And those are my first Black Friday order that arrived. And then I also, my order from mid-November from Diamond Delights, all of those little mini canvases, the little mini ones, the stickers, those arrived yesterday. So I got all of those. Which those, if I sit down and actually work on them, I could knock all of those out pretty quickly because they're not very big. They're 15, they're under 20 by 20, which means that by my criteria, that means that they are a mini canvas if they're under 20 by 20. So I need to work on those at some point, but I still have a couple of them from one of the previous releases that I need to work on before I can start into these ones. Cause that's just how my brain works. It's I got to finish those ones before I can start the next, but I have them all, I have a whole bunch of those ones from the last release are actually kitted up for me to work on this month in between times. So that's what I may do. I may take a break from like this and pull out one of my Diamond Delights little mini ones that's all kitted up, because those are like a dream to work on. They are rendered super well, and Elvira does an amazing job with like getting all the special drills getting charted in and making sure that there's plenty of specials. She does not skimp on her specials. I think out of all of them that I've done from her, and I've done a ton, like from the entirety of her being in business, because I love mini projects like that. And the artwork is just spectacular with the artists that she licensed. So with all those mini kits that I have from her, I think I've only added special drills to one of them. And that was one of the recent ones. And I was like, the moon there's no ABs in the moon. We've got to add ABs to the moon. So I added like an extra, I think I added like 2 extra ABs on that one kit. But that's literally the first time that I've actually ever added any specials to hers, because they are so well done in that aspect. So yeah, that's, other than that, that's kind of like the beginning of it. I should be getting my summer orders from Jada Gem Shop soonish, because I know Jade got a whole bunch of stuff in, and her husband and her grandma have been working on like packing them, and once they're all packed, then they'll be shipped out. So once that happens, I'm expecting in the next couple of weeks to be able, sometime here in the month of December, to get all of the rest, those Jada Gem Shop orders from the summer. I was trying to be good and not place any more Jada Gem Shop orders until, I've worked through some of the ones that I already have and have all of the ones that I have ordered recently in hand. So I don't have this big pending pile of canvases waiting to arrive. But my mom wanted to take advantage of Jade's Black Friday sale. So, but she didn't want 3 canvases because it was, it was like, what was it? Like buy 2, get 1 free is the sale that she was having for Black Friday. And my mom didn't want 3 canvases. She's like, I don't want 3. She's like, I'll do 1. So it was like, she kind of twisted my arm into it. Really, there was no twisting involved. It was very easy to talk me into it. But I ended up getting 2 for me and then 1 for my mom, which I was like, oh my goodness, my mom just bought a diamond painting on her own voluntarily. So I'm excited for her to be able to try out Jade's. It's a very beautiful one. It was like Queen Bee Mave is the name of the canvas that she had picked out for her. And then I got, I got a Cherryuki, and I'm trying to think of which one I got for the other one, because I had something else in my cart and then I swapped it for the one that I ended up getting, and I'm trying to remember which one it was. I'd have to pull up my iPad and see. It's on my iPad. So, but I did pretty good of just buying like, that, those 2 from Jade, for me. And then, like I said, I got the 2 Oraloas. Like last year, I want to say that each of the shops that I ordered from, I got significantly more. Like I want to say that I probably ordered like at least 7+ kits from Jade last year, at least. And I ordered from so many shops. This year, I really tried to rein it in and be very like minimal as far as what I purchased and where I purchased it from. More so because I'm trying to cut down. So I was like, And then I did cave on Diamond Artisan Shop. I was going to buy from Diamond Art Gallery as well, but I completely lost track of like the timeline and missed the sale. So I'll have to buy from them later. But I did get, I almost held off, but then, the sale was still running through the 8th for Diamond Artisan Shop. And there was one more of the Sevi Yummy canvases, one more of the canvases from Sevi that are the Ghibli ones, or the Ghibli ones. So I did end up ordering that one and the, flower delivery one from one of her newer artists. So I did order both of those from Diamond Artisan Shop. So, but I had more than that. I think I had like 3 or 4 kits in my cart. And I was proud of myself for cutting back and not buying as much. So we are going to be really firm about our purchases. And I need to actually like write down, these are the rules. This is what I can buy moving forward into like the new year. Like the rest of this year into the new year. I need to be like, nope, this is my limit. This is what I can buy. Like Yume's are hands down, I'm going to buy the Yume. Like that's just going to happen. But I need to say, okay, are there any other specific things that I am allowing myself to purchase, and everything else, you know, can wish list, or just be like, nope, I can live without it. But I need to kind of set those limits for myself, sit down and do that. So I'm going to do that, you know, in this next week or two. I need to really sit down and kind of define it and have it actually written out in paper, as opposed to having this vague, oh, well, I can buy this one, because that's kind of what happened on Black Friday, because it was like, only my must-have artists. But again, they released, like, they didn't release multiples from the artists like they did last year with Yume, but where I had, you know, 10 Yume's to purchase on Black Friday. But at the same time, if they're releasing a bunch of canvases from artists that I'm like, oh, that's a must-buy artist, but if they all release in the same release, that's a lot that you're buying in one go. So I need to kind of like delineate and be, okay, no, I can buy this, I can buy that. Like the Margaret Morales, the Yume is the name of the Margaret Morales from Black Friday that I did purchase. That was the only Margaret Morales that I purchased. But again, it's one of them that, if you remember from my video, I was actually, when I showed my Margaret Morales canvases, that's actually one of the ones that I was anxiously waiting for them to turn into a diamond painting. And I knew that that one was going to be like a must buy as soon as I saw it. So there's going to be like, I have to get down to like the limits and those board, like this is my limits. This is what I can buy, with a goal of trying to downsize my hoard for real this coming year. That's going to be something that I really want to work on, is that stash down in 2026 to reduce the size of the hoard. That's definitely going to happen. But all right, we are done. I've got to take a break from this, because you can see how much like checkerboardy type confetti-ish stuff there is. As you can see, I've normally, you know, in an hour session, I get more than, you know, the checkerboarding in here and then this right here. So it's very slow going for me working on this kit. So I feel like I'm going to probably work on, like, set this one off to the side. I feel like I want to finish this section, but that's going to take me way too long. Really, it'll take me like another maybe 3-ish plus hours to do this section, but it's such a small section to take that long. But this will be like another 3 hours at least to finish this section here. And I'm like, do I really want to do another 3 hours of checkerboarding before I move to another canvas? So I have yet to make that decision. I'll decide. I probably will switch over and do something else instead and give this one a little bit of a break. Just because it's just so much confetti. It's really making me like contemplate, do I like the other images that I have from Oraloa, these older ones, if they're all the same thing with that confetti. Like, it is looking beautiful. It's turning out great, but it's, especially if I have any that are squares, I may end up actually pulling them to go into like a de-stash pile, because you guys know how I feel about confetti. Because look at it. It looks fantastic, but there's just so much confetti for me personally that it's not nearly as enjoyable to do. And I'm doing this because it's enjoyable and fun. But once this section is done, I will be halfway through with this canvas. So I'm pleased about that. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm going to go ahead and let you go, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.